what is a valid answer to Wash, what is a woman? Question that we can use to push back against hate. I think that, in my honest opinion, you don't have to affirm your identity with anyone but yourself, not even your father. You don't have to have an answer. You don't have to have the answer. There is no perfect answer, especially as it relates to ignorance and bigotry. At this age that I'm at, one thing I've learned is that you don't have to change people's minds. And sometimes you can't change people's minds. You don't need for somebody, you don't need to convince somebody to see you as a human. You don't have to answer the question of what is a woman, because a woman is so many things. A human is so many things. Like, it's not a monolith. A Black person is so many things. A trans person is so many. You have so many facets to like your identity, your human experience, yourself, that it's a waste to try to define it, because why do you have to define it?
All right, guys. So I stumbled across these pretty hilarious clips from the Young Americans Foundation that highlights the left having a meltdown over answering Matt Walsh's question of what is a woman, because apparently some of these woke academics, okay, these are academics, right, in these videos, they're being asked, what is a woman? And apparently that is frustrating them, okay? They are getting stumped by this question, and they're discussing how to answer the question, because apparently asking that question is hate, okay? Asking somebody, hey, what is a woman, okay, is a hateful question, right? Allegedly, okay, according to them. And these videos are just hilarious because they're going to discuss this in these woke diversity meetings. And they're still going to struggle to define exactly what a woman is, but they know they must define it as a way to push back against what they define as hatred from asking the question in the first place. Take a look.
What is a valid response to the question of what is a woman? Womanhood is a social construct. It's definitive based on time and culture. So people always argue like, oh, womanhood is not a social construct, but what womanhood is based on, our past versus now has changed versus, what womanhood is for us versus other cultures. So case in point, the color blue wasn't associated with men until in, I think, the 40s, and men wore pink for a while as well. And so the fact that like it's just so fluid within history and different cultures is the testament to the fact that it's a social construct. And being a social construct means that it is very much individualized, that it's not stagnant. So I guess I would start there, and also that like womanhood can't even be defined because gender is a social construct, and gender currently is defined by white dominant culture of the binary. Any binary in and of self, but especially gender, it's all colonization. Like it's the erasure of everybody else. Like even sex is a spectrum. I'm like, there's very little in human behavior that's absolute or black and white. No pun intended. So why should that be limited, to everything else but gender and sexuality and all the things? So yeah, like
if you're looking at the comment that they shared was, I was just sharing in my group how one of my coworkers challenged my identity using the trick question of what is a woman? And they unfortunately did not have a chance to, debrief with their group. So I don't know if anyone has a way to respond to like shut that down in the moment. How can we be the bystander in that moment? How can we interrupt the harm in action? Sorry, just this idea. So like asking someone like, well, what is a woman? Which is just, gender is already a social construct. So to even ask that question just shows that this person doesn't understand the idea of like what gender is. So many things that we consider as truth. It's just that's just what the systems tell us, right? Now that I've had a chance to calm down a little bit, my first instinct would be, if you have the energy, and again, sometimes the best thing to do is just be like, I'm not engaging with you, and just walk away. Rose, I am so sorry you had to deal with that. Okay, I'm not gonna go off right now.
Yeah, that's sad and pathetic for so many different reasons, but also absolutely hilarious, okay? Because these people struggle to define what a woman is, even though they say that biological men can identify as women, okay? So a biological man can say, hey, I'm a woman. And then when you ask that person to define what a biological woman is, apparently that's a trick question, right? Not only is it a trick question, it's also hate, right? It's hate and bigotry to ask that question in the first place, because apparently a woman can't be defined, and it doesn't need to be defined, right? We don't need to define what a woman is, okay? Because apparently that's not important. When clearly it is important, okay? We've constructed our society around sex or biological sex since basically humanity and civilization, because it works, right? Men and women are different, and men and women have different roles in society because they are biologically different, okay? And gender is not a social construct. And I'm going to tell you why gender is not a social construct. Because aspects of gender, okay, even if you want to use the leftist definition of gender, which is that, again, it's a social construction, these social constructions are a product of biology. For example, let's talk about women and being mothers and caretakers, okay? Women are seen as mothers and caretakers, and they tend to want to do those jobs, okay, that involve that because of their biology, right? It's because they were born with a hormone profile and certain, physical features that lend itself more to being caretakers. That's just not something that society made up and arbitrarily decided that, hey, women are going to play this role simply because, they're women, whatever a woman is, right? Or because they have a vagina or whatever. No, that's not how it works, okay? The social construction is a product of biology, okay? We've socially constructed society because of our biology, right? But again, the leftists don't actually really believe in their leftist definition of gender because they're actively trying to change it, right? They're actively trying to now say that gender and sex are the same thing, right? That biology and gender are the same thing. This is what they're trying to do, okay? They're trying to say biological men are females, right? They can be females if they just believe in their head that, hey, I'm female, okay? That they are actual real women, that they are biological women. This is what they're trying to push now, okay? They try to sell us this Trojan horse, okay, to try to say, well, you conservatives are so ignorant because gender is a social construct. We're not talking about sex. We're not trying to change the definition of sex. And then lo and behold, as anybody could have predicted, they're now trying to change the actual definition of sex, right? They're trying to change the definition of sex, like male and female. They're now interchangeably using those words with gender, right? Words that are associated with gender, like man and woman, okay? They're interchanging it now because, again, they want to blur the lines of reality even more, right? To the point where, again, biological women or biological men can be considered the opposite sex, right? And the crazy part is that these people know that their gender ideology is nonsense. It's inconsistent. It doesn't make sense. And this is why they get so frustrated by a question, right? If you ask a question, apparently that's hateful, right? It is hateful to ask a question and then they rage quit and complain about how, oh, well, people only ask me this question because they're bigots and they're hateful, not because they actually want me to, make your gender ideology make sense, okay? Make it make sense so we can understand what's going on here. But again, it doesn't make sense. It's all made up. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.